Joining me now, Julio Murphy, Zelaya, Director of Advocacy and Policy for the Minnesota ACLU. Thanks so much for joining us. So President Trump says this is a day of reckoning is coming to Minnesota. Just want to get your reaction to that.
Yes, I mean, as our state mourns œGood, we are taking to the streets, and I know the state is taking action, and we're seeing these kind of things happen, the kind of warrantless arrests, the racial discrimination, the unlawful tactics used by ICE, and so we're responding to that live.
You say taking to the streets. Are you confident these demonstrations will stay peaceful? You can see there some of the images on our screen, things getting a little bit more heated.
As we've seen in other protests, people have the right to protest, but that's something that I know for us at the ACLU, that is something we're going to be defending vehemently. Folks are gathering peacefully across not just the Twin Cities, but across the state, joined by other cities across the nation. And so I'm confident that our voices will be heard.
I want to ask you about some news there in Minnesota. At least 4 federal prosecutors operating in Minneapolis have resigned. This comes amid questions from the Trump administration over how the handling of the investigation into Renee's death is being handled. What do you think of how the investigation is going there? Is it going according to normal protocol?
No, I think you talk to most people in Minnesota, and they are shocked to hear what's happening. This is a call for justice, and we are thinking that this is something that's going to have to be challenged, that's going to be fought. So we're going to be also. These are calls that we're taking to the streets to echo throughout the state and joined by other cities.
And also today, sources have told ABC News that the Trump administration ending temporary protection status for Somalia. We know that Minnesota is home to the largest Somali population in the country. Can you give us a sense of what that means for Somalis there?
We've worked with our Somali community for years, and this has been something that they've felt deeply. We've seen attacks on our Somali community. We know that ICE tactics have used racial discrimination to target that community. People have been stopped simply for having an accent. Now, a lot of Americans will be shocked to learn some of the tactics that have been used in Minnesota, but they're also the tactics that have been used in places like Chicago and Los Angeles. And so we are going to be fighting against that. These are, again, those echoing calls that we will defend the Constitution. This is not right, and we will be pushing against this.
Julio Murphy, Zelaya from the ACLU, thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you.